What is up, everybody? I am your WWE pay-per-view champion, the longest reigning pay-per-view champion, the hot commodity, Ant C, and you're checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. And I cannot do this alone, so I'm joined by my good friend. And now it seems like you're my longtime co-host at this point. You've been my co-host for a while, sir. Introduce yourself, my friend.
My name is Chris Mouse, co-host of the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. Let's talk about some Monday Night Raw here. Super Bowl
Yep.
Sunday. So let's talk about some Monday Night Raw.
I'm going to represent you and go with the Eagles.
Bleh. Even though I live near Philadelphia.
Oh, you don't want me to? Who do you want me to go for?
I'm going for the Kansas City Chiefs because
Okay, then I'll go for the Chiefs.
I'm a Steelers fan, so we'll never ever root for Philly. And there's a former player.
Pittsburgh. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and there's a former player on the Chiefs that played for the Steelers, so I hope he gets a Super Bowl.
Okay, so then Christian, let's go Steelers. I'm sorry, Chiefs. And let's go Steelers too. Let's go Steelers and let's go to the Chiefs. And also the Cowboys, because my grandma likes the Cowboys. Respect. All right. We are covering, Super Bowl Sunday. Congrats to both teams for making it, but and congrats to Rihanna. She has her halftime show. I'm excited about that. But what I'm more excited to talk about on this Super Bowl Sunday is WWE Monday Night Raw from February 6, 2023, live in Orlando, Florida. And no, nobody was at Disney World riding Splash Mountain. However, we were riding the road to WrestleMania, and it is paved with a lot of stuff along the way, including the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, which I'm very excited about, coming to you live next. Is it this Sunday?
This Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
This Saturday. Holy shit. Okay, well, here we go. Let's talk about the first situation that happened on Raw. Edge and the Glamazon Beth Phoenix come out. Both of them are Hall of Famers. Edge said, "It is so damn good to be back."
Yeah,
the judge.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut
No,
you.
go ahead.
I meant to say that in my head.
No, it's totally good. The 18th, February 18th.
February 18th, that is the Saturday, yeah.
I really like the Saturday pay-per-views.
No, I really do enjoy Saturday pay-per-views, and I'm kind of happy, AEW does that too. Like I'm just not meant like I'm like all the rest. Yeah, I see Impact do it. I see New Japan do it. Like I'm happy like more wrestling because like I understand it. Like they did it on Sundays because like a lot of UFC events are on Saturday. Most UFC events are on Saturday. Whatever. But I'm happy they're doing the pay-per-views on Saturdays.
Me too. It gives you time to digest it the next day and get stuff pushed out, and I don't have to go to work. So fun. But yeah, so Edge and Beth Phoenix come out. Oh, hello. I'm sorry, Siri. That scared the shit out of me. Edge and Beth Phoenix come out, and Edge just says, Judgment Day is my fault. The idea was to elevate talent because I thought they deserved it. Finn Balor is on another level. Damian Priest is a workhorse. Rhea Ripley's got a title shot at WrestleMania, and Dominic's theirs too. He goes, "For a year we fought, and I know at Extreme Rules, Finn Balor couldn't physically hurt me. After Rhea hit Beth with brass knuckles, I felt helpless. Congrats, Judgment Day. You just made a bad problem even worse. I am a cruel bastard that will sink to any level to get my bones." Beth then takes the mic and says, "I'm going to cut it short. Rhea and Finn, if you have the guts, come out." The Judgment Day come out without Rhea Ripley, and Finn Balor says, "Edge, it's time you say I quit." Dominic says, "Word on the street travels fast. I have served hard times, so you guys better run along before I do to you what I learned from inside, like I did in my deadbeat dad." Yeah, I know. I got to see him. He was on the I will tell you, he's huge. I saw him on the dark match for
He was there?
He fought, the two dark matches that they had was the New Day versus Damian Priest and Dominic Mysterio, and they had Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight.
Oh shit! Yeah, I saw. I'm stupid. When I went to Monday Night Raw in November 7th, I sat front row. Yeah, Dominic's big as shit in real life.
He's
That
tall.
is true. So is Damian Priest.
Damian Priest is huge too.
I saw him twice front row. Holy shit, he's
huge.
Big.
Damian Priest says, "Next time we beat you down, we make what happens at Extreme Rules look like child's play." Ed says, "You don't you don't know what you really want. You drop each other quicker than ex-con Dom dropped his draws in the clink. I cannot wait till your dad snaps and 619's your teeth down your throat. Damn, Edge is not playing. Beth says Rhea Ripley's not here because last week I speared her soul out of her body. She goes, I came here to beat Rhea's ass. So at Extreme Elimination Chamber, let's do a mixed tag match. Finn Balor says, we accept. That's if you make it to Elimination Chamber. And then Judgment Day goes to attack Edge and Beth. But the Street Profits come out and attack them. And Beth Phoenix nails Dominic with a glam slam as Dominic screams, mommy. Christian, you can talk about the segment, but I do want to ask you, which team, Rhea and Finn or Edge and Beth, do you think is more dominant together going into Elimination Chamber?
I definitely think Rhea and Finn. I mean, you have Rhea Ripley. There's no explanation. She is, the just won the Royal Rumble. She's so fucking dominant. I think Beth Phoenix. You gotta. I don't want to sound like this, but Phoenix and Edge, they're old. They're old. Finn Balor, he does a lot of high flying shit that Edge really can't do. And Rhea Ripley's just dominant. She can pick up Beth Phoenix with just her pinky. So I definitely think Rhea and Finn are more dominant going in here. But I think the segment was good. They're continuing the story. Hopefully it leads up to a big match at WrestleMania. I liked Dominic continuing his funny ass like prison thing. It's hysterical. I laugh every time. That the crowd loves Edge. It was cool to see Phoenix do her finisher on Dominic. So we'll see what
She's
happens at the
impressive,
Elimination
man.
Chamber.
She's impressive. After seeing how tall he is, she's impressive. Holy shit, lifting him up and just dropping him like that? Damn. Well, let's talk about our Elimination Chamber qualifying match. The winner of this match gets to qualify for the United States title Elimination Chamber match. Angelo Dawkins taking on Damian Priest. Here are just some quick notes. Dawkins tackles Priest onto the announce table. Priest clotheslines Dawkins outside of the ring. Dawkins nails an exploder suplex and gets a 2. Dawkins then nails a modified slam and a swanton and gets a 2. Priest nails a punch and a south of heaven, and Damian Priest is inside the United States title Elimination Chamber match. Christian, what will Damian Priest bring to the Elimination Chamber match that no one else will?
Well, I don't want to be biased here, but
Motherfucker always gotta pop in while and Christian gets all quiet.
what's up, man?
Yeah, he's like the fucking the what's the mole that what's the name of the whack-a-mole that pops up? Or no, it's not. You know what it is? It's the fucking Groundhog's Day. The groundhog that comes that comes back in. That's it. He's here. He's the bomb.
What up, man? How you doing, my boy? No, you're good. You're good.
Good.
I don't want to be biased here, but Damian Priest is from Puerto Rico, and I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm rooting for Damian Priest
He's
on this
bringing that
one.
Latino heat to the Elimination Chamber match.
I really like Damian Priest. That is one of the reasons, but he's very entertaining. I thought his mic skills need a little work, but this segment or this match was very entertaining, good match. We don't see Angelo Dawkins do singles matches often, so it was good to see him do that. Damian Priest, he's the heel. He is a former United States champion. So he's just trying to, find a way to win that title back after several years. I thought the crowd, thought Angelo Dawkins was going to win, but Priest winning is what we all expected here. So just made sense, and I hope he wins the whole freaking thing, man.
Damian Priest might. I mean, he's a big dude. He's, like we both said in person, he's even taller. Yeah, excited to see what he's going to bring to the chamber match. And it was a decent match. Dawkins can do pretty well for himself as well, singles. We see the WWE United States Champion Austin Theory arrive backstage in a hot ass car. We then move on and see the Maximum Male Models. They get their contract signed, and Chelsea Greene shows up and confronts Adam Pearce and tells Pearce that she will call up Pearce's manager if he doesn't make her have a match tonight in the ring. Adam Pearce says sure, so we'll find out who Greene fights later on. Our next match, we have Baron Corbin with JBL. Baron Corbin, the modern day wrestling god, taking on Dexter Lumis with Johnny Gargano. Dexter nails a bulldog and a back suplex and also a leg drop and nails a side effect and gets a 3. We're gonna talk about Corbin later on, but what's next for Dexter Lumis? He's involved in these short rivalries that really go nowhere. What's next for him?
I don't really see anything next with Dexter Lumis right now, if I'm being quite honest.
Maybe a padded room. I mean, what's even more for me that I'm more worried about is Johnny Gargano. Like
Yeah.
he's sort of just in the background, and I really am Johnny Gargano. Like he's one of my favorite wrestlers, but what are they doing with him?
No, it's ridiculous what they're doing. See, I'm not more, towards um Dexter getting a push as I am Gargano, just because fuck man, Gargano can wrestle. We see what he can do. We all know what he's done in NXT. I feel like Dexter just has the same boring gimmick, and I'm not saying, Gargano has really a quote unquote gimmick that's interesting or anything, but just his wrestling alone just speaks for itself. And I don't think we can say the same thing about Dexter Lumis. I think Dexter's more of like a Bray Wyatt type thing where he's just more for the storylines, where Gargano can legit wrestle his ass off.
I think Johnny would do better on SmackDown. I feel like SmackDown is more of
Oh,
a
absolutely. Yeah,
put him on SmackDown and have him fight like for the Intercontinental title or fight.
absolutely.
He's
Raw's too
gonna be a
big.
joke on Raw.
Raw is way too big right now, and I feel like the only thing going on with SmackDown, like I'm so serious. The only thing I look forward to with SmackDown right now is the whole Bloodline thing.
Yeah.
Like they do the same matches over and over again. Like you have Drew McIntyre and Sheamus and Bray Wyatt and fucking Braun Strowman, and they don't do shit on SmackDown. They don't do shit. They do the same repetitive bullshit. And if you put those guys on Monday Night Raw, they're having great storylines. But I don't know. I feel like some people from Monday Night, they need to do some draft or something soon.
Listen, my dreams came true. I got to see Zelina Vega. And you know who else is very attractive? Liv Morgan.
Oh my
Respect.
God, don't get me started on her.
Liv Morgan is so attractive. Like
She's so fine.
I
She's
didn't
so
think
cute.
so at all. Like not at all. Like I obviously found her attractive on TV, but in person, wow. But moving on. Becky Lynch, she's also fine too. Becky Lynch is backstage.
He held my hand
She held your hand, and
and
I'm
didn't
jealous.
want to let go.
I didn't want to. I wish that I was in your body in that moment. I didn't want to let go for you. Becky Lynch is backstage, and Becky says she has a plan that she hasn't put into place, but tonight might be the night. And we find out about her plan later on. And dude, did I pop? Speaking of pop, we have Brock Lesnar coming out to the ring, and Brock says, I caught the Royal Rumble and I had a sucky experience. I got my ass thrown over the top rope by Bobby Lashley. Bobby, you struck a chord in Brock Lesnar. I couldn't get Bobby Who out of my head after the Royal Rumble. He goes, I get in bed with my wife, and about 5 hours later, I thought of Bobby Lashley, which is intense. Sable, you live a good life. I came with a violent resolution after all of this. He says, I have a multi-million-dollar contract for Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar at Elimination Chamber. If you have a set of balls, you'll get down here and sign this contract, Bobby. So then Bobby Lashley comes out, and Bobby says, since you're here, let's take a walk down memory lane. Our first match together, I pinned you. In our second match, you won, but I laid you out unconscious. And our third meeting was at the Royal Rumble, and I tossed your ass over the ropes. I'm going to take this contract and have everyone look at it and get back to you. Are you surprised that Bobby Who has one up on you? And then Brock Lesnar ends up nailing 2 F5s on Bobby Lashley and leaves. So my question is, who really has whose number more? Does Bobby really have Brock's number more, or does Brock have Bobby's number more? What do you think? And you're on mute, my friend.
Bench seat for Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby Lashley has more of. I don't know. I take that back. I feel like Brock has a little bit of the momentum going on right now. Um, he's attacked Lashley several times in the past couple weeks. We know Lashley just eliminated him from the Rumble, so that's a little bit momentum going on Lashley's side. But I don't know. Brock Lesnar calling out Bobby Lashley. I don't think Bobby Lashley is gonna take that as well. Despite how many times Brock Lesnar might have kicked his ass over the past couple weeks. I'm just excited to see where the storyline goes. These are two powerhouses. These guys are no strangers to each other. Ruthless aggression era guys.
Mhm.
Good to see them working with each other again. Most likely going to be on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania Hollywood. So, I'm really excited to see where this shit goes.
Me too, playa. Speaking about shit going somewhere, Candice LeRae is backstage with Johnny Gargano and Dexter Lumis, and Dexter Lumis had, I guess, like created a picture of all three of them with Nikki Cross watching from the backside. And Nikki's in the background again, and it's kind of creepy. I don't understand what Nikki Cross is doing, but we don't really get much from that. We have our Fatal 4-Way Elimination Chamber qualifying match for the SmackDown Women's Championship #1 contenders. Piper Niven taking on Mia Yim, Carmella, and
Why
Candice
is this
LeRae.
bitch back and why did she win?
Well, let's talk. Candice nails a lion saw and gets a 2. Piper nails a huge Samoan drop and gets it to Candice LeRae, but Carmella gets the win after a roll up. What will Carmella bring to the Elimination Chamber match, Christian?
That's my question. Like, why is she here? Why is she back? Like, she didn't get a pop or nothing. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Carmella. I thought it was a solid match. I personally would have liked to see Mia Yim get the win here. Um, but I don't know. Um, I'm not a fan of Carmella. She doesn't she can't she doesn't have got the skills. She might got the mic skills. She might got the looks, but she just doesn't have the in-ring competitive skills. Um, she used to be good maybe in like 2018, but I don't know. She's been gone for so long. I just don't care for her. She annoys me every time she gets to the ring. Um, I don't know. I don't really I don't want to say I don't want to see her do good, but I just don't give a shit if she does or not.
Okay,
I
okay.
definitely don't think she's main event. She's not she ain't no Becky Lynch, no Bayley, no Bianca
Mm,
Belair, no Rhea Ripley. So
not at all. Well, speaking of people who aren't really anything, JBL is backstage and he tells Baron Corbin that Corbin's a clown and doesn't belong near JBL. You can't polish a turd. It seems like WWE is going to drop this whole thing with Corbin. JBL is going to be no longer on the road. Um, I don't know. I feel like WWE is giving up on Corbin again, and this is just sort of always what happens. I think they should sort of move on.
oh no, Triple H is seriously done with Corbin. I don't know if you heard any of the backstage reports, but
Sorry.
I don't know if you heard any of the backstage reports, but Triple H is reportedly done with Corbin.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that? Should he be done?
Corbin, do you find Corbin interesting?
No, I think he's boring. He doesn't. I think he's a good person, but I don't think he brings anything to the
He's
table.
cool. Like I asked him at the live show, I was like, "Yo, where's JBL?" He was like probably playing golf. Like he seemed cool. Like he talked to me, but I don't know. I just don't think he's entertaining. I'm sorry. He's been through so many gimmicks and they just don't work.
Yeah, they. I don't know. Well, here's what's going to work. We're going to take our first break of the night, and when we come back, we're going to cover so much more. We got a steel cage match, the crazy promo with Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. You don't want to miss it. A lot more coming your way. And welcome back. And I'm going to be flying solo for the rest of this episode as Christian had to deal with emergency. However, we're going to be picking up right where we left off here. American Alpha taking on Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander with MVP by his side. We see Piper Niven confronting Candice LeRae and Mia Yim backstage and basically snaps at both of them for costing her a title shot. Shelton kicks Otis in the face, and Otis nails a power slam to Shelton, and he lands a splash. Cedric nails a fast drop kick to the back of Gable's head. Alexander lands a neutralizer, and Gable lands an exploder outside and a flying headbutt and gets a 2 count. Shelton nails a Samoan drop to Otis, and Alexander gets a code breaker to the back of Gable and gets a 3 count. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin get the win. I do think these guys deserve Raw tag team title shots. They're a great tag team, and with MVP by their side, they can be indestructible. We see the Miz backstage, and we find out that he has a rematch against Rick Boogs next week on Raw. Excited to see Boogs back in action. Chelsea Greene comes out, and we see Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalia, and Carmella at ringside. And Chelsea Greene is going to be taking on Asuka in this surprise match for Greene. Chelsea nails a flatliner face buster. Asuka nails strikes and a roundhouse kick. And Asuka applies a crossface and gets the win. I have a big feeling that Asuka will be taking on Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. But speaking of Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champion comes out after the match, and Bianca says, I see 6 top-tier women in WWE, but who has what it takes to go one-on-one with the EST? Last year, I was in your position. I want to wish each and every one of you good luck, because I'll see one of you at WrestleMania. Excited for that. We then get a really great promo from Cody Rhodes. Cody says, last week I talked about respect for Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn has a lot of momentum going into the Elimination Chamber match, and it looks more like it will be me against Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Cody says, Sami, I wish you the best of luck. May the best man win. Paul Heyman then comes out to the ring, and Cody says, my dad and brother had a nickname for you, but I'm going to call you Mr. Heyman. I have respect for you, and I want to tell a story. The year was 2000. My family went broke. Then my dad got a call. You called him and told him ECW was in town, and if he agreed to show up, you would pay him and pay him well. You kept your word and restored confidence in my dad. Before I was back here, I was somewhere else causing problems, and you showed me the way. Paul says, you caught me off guard with this one. This isn't about me. This isn't about your dad. It's about you. You're trying to take away from the greatest box office champion of all time, Roman Reigns. You will self-destruct under the pressure. Down the road is the Performance Center. Your father, Dusty Rhodes, trained and prepped wrestlers like Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Kevin Owens, and the tribal chief, Roman Reigns. Your dad didn't train or prep you. Maybe your dad wanted you to make it on your own, or maybe he wanted you to be the man who stopped the tribal chief. I loved your father, and man, did your father love you. In my last conversation with your dad, he told me you were his favorite son. But Roman Reigns is the son he always wanted. And then Cody got in Paul's face and grabs his hand. Cody says, I'm trying to win the title, and you just made it personal. Your boy Roman Reigns is going to pay for that. And that was a great promo. It got me excited to see Cody go at Roman Reigns, and that's what all WrestleMania season is about. The great promos coming our way, and Cody and Paul Heyman definitely delivered on that one. We then get our next Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Montez Ford gets the win after a frog splash. And after the match, Seth Rollins pushes Austin Theory off the announce table and stomps on Theory. Can Seth Rollins embarrass Austin Theory again in Elimination Chamber? We have a couple of days to find out. We then have our main event, the steel cage match. Bayley with the women's tag team champions, Damage Control, taking on Becky Lynch. Bayley sends Becky into the cage, and Bayley climbs up, but Becky drop kicks her off. Becky nails a drop kick into the cage to Bayley. Becky then bounces Bayley's head off of the cage, and Bayley pushes Becky off the top and nails a flying elbow drop off the top of the cage and gets a 2. Becky nails a leg drop across the ropes from the top of the cage, and gets a 2. Becky flips Bayley into the cage, and Becky nails a leg drop, but Bayley locks in a leg lock, and Becky tries to leave. However, she gets a roll up and gets a 2 count. Bayley nails a belly to belly off the cage and gets a 2. Becky uses the disarmer off the top of the cage, and Bayley falls. Io Sky climbs up and kicks Becky off the cage. However, Hall of Famer Lita returns and runs out and attacks Damage Control with a crutch. She has a twist of fate on Io Sky, and Lita slams the cage door in Bayley's face, and Becky hits the manhandle slam, and Becky Lynch gets the win. After the match, Becky Lynch and Lita raise each other's hands. I'm excited to see Lita. What is this? Is this going to be something that's going to take place at Elimination Chamber? We're going to be in Canada. Will Trish Stratus make a comeback? A lot coming our way. Thank you for checking out this episode of Raw's our Monday Night Raw recap. We'll be back with next week's episode, Raw from February 13th. We have Dynamite recap coming up, the Friday Night SmackDown recap. We also have our Elimination Chamber prediction special. I'll be putting up my title again. A lot coming your way. Thank you for staying tuned and thank you for subscribing. Have a good night and stay uncensored.